Good morning, it's Miss Anna with CAPK's Home Visiting Program, and today we are making Puffy Sidewalk Chalk. This should be fun. These are going to be the things that you need to make the sidewalk chalk. So if you need to, press pause and go get the stuff. We also have our ingredients in Spanish. Gracias a Maestra Lucero por este. Okay, so now if you have all those things, press play. I have already made a few just because of timing. I don't think I would have had enough time to do all of these. So I have done red, green, and yellow. For the flour, you can just use any flour. I just used this one. For the food coloring, I just had the food coloring from Play-Doh, so I used that one. I used faucet water. I did have bowls, so I used these bowls. If you're going to be using these measurements with the 1 cup of flour, the una taz de harina, then you are going to need a bigger bowl than what I just showed you. I actually split mine in half, so this is only half a cup of flour, and so I did 2 bowls for one of the measurements. So half a cup of flour, and then half a cup of water, and then half a teaspoon of the dish soap. So for my dish soap, I had this dish soap, but you can use any dish soap. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. The other thing is I am using a fork to mix because you have to mix all the bubbles out of the flour and water, which could kind of be difficult if you make it with like a spoon. So you want to make something that's more like a whisk type of utensil so that you can do that. So I just poured my 1 cup of water, and I'm going to slowly pour it into the bowl. I'm going to do it a little bit at a time because the water does tend to stay up on top. You guys can't really see, but when you pour it, you'll be able to see that. And so then this is something that can be done outside. So you can actually involve the kids, let them pour the water in, let them use the fork or spoon or whatever to mix it. It does get messy. Flour will go everywhere, especially for the younger ones because they're still learning how. But once it starts to get a little bit muddy and more like a Play-Doh type, that's when you want to add more water so that it doesn't splash everywhere. And again, let the kids do it. They could even use their hands if they want to. But I am using a fork because with their hands, they can actually squish the little bubbles of flour. And so it may be a little bit easier for them to mix. There is my cup of water, half a cup of water. Again, I'm only using half a cup because I split up my bowls. The other thing that you need to make sure that you remember is you only want to make enough for however many kids are using it. So actually the cup you could probably make in a bigger bowl and then separate when you use the food coloring, because you are going to have to separate the food coloring, because once you put all the colors together, what happens? If you don't know, that's another project that you can do with the kids. And actually you can mix the colors as well, because there are 3 primary colors that usually come in your food coloring box. So for those of you who don't know what primary colors are, it's the ones that cannot be made when mixed. So for instance, if you mix red and blue, you make purple. If you blue and yellow, that makes green. Red and yellow, that makes orange. So you have green in here already, you don't have to make it, but if you mix all these together, That's a project for you to do with your kids. Okay, so as you can see, there are bubbles in there. You want to make sure that you get all of those out before adding in your soap. Lo siento para las personas que hablan español. Yo no hablo bien, pero I got you the writing. I got you this. So hopefully you can follow along. So you want to make sure that you mix and mix and mix until it's smooth. And no more bubbles. And then, now it's nice and smooth. I'm going to put that right there. You're going to get your tablespoon so that you can add soap. Again, I'm using half because I made a little bit less in mine. And then you just pour it on top. Which mine is actually scented, so it smells like apples, so it smells really good. Just thought I'd put that in there. Make sure you get it all out into the bowl. Now, the online information that where I got it from, it says to put it in squeeze bottles. I don't have squeeze bottles. If you don't have squeeze bottles, that's okay. Again, kids like using their hands. So what you can do is just have the kids really go out there and paint on the sidewalk with their fingers. Or if you have paintbrushes lying around, you can do that as well. I'm sure you can use the fork. Look. Woo! See? So that should be fine as well. So now that we've added our soap, we are going to add in our food coloring. So blue was the only color that I have not pre-made, so I'm going to use blue. I did, let me just share that with you. I did do different amounts of drops. So this one has 10, this one has 7, and this one has 5. As you can tell, it doesn't look like any difference. It doesn't look like anything is more colorful than the other. So feel free to use as many drops as you want. I would still say between 5 and 10 just because that's the recommended. And again, 5 to 10, there is no real color difference. So less is more. Use 5 and you will still get the same outcome. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, use the counting with your kids. Have them count out 5 drops with you, just so they know what it looks like. I always spread mine out like a domino so that you can see the 5 drops. And you can even ask the kids if you accidentally put an extra, was that 5 drops? And have them count it again with you. And then if it's not, say no, it's 6. And then have them show on their fingers how many is 6 and how many is 5 so that they can see what the difference is. And then ask them which one is more. Obviously 6 is more. So they will be doing math. They will be counting and all kinds of fun stuff with this cool activity. So here is my blue puffy paint. Okay, so I have blue, I have green, I have yellow, I have red. Let's go outside and see what we can do. Okay, we are now outside. And again, like I said, you could just use the fork if you wanted to. So I am going to use the fork. And I am going to chalk it up. Let's see. Bring the other 2 bowls out here. Sorry, talking to my son. I have the other 2 bowls inside because I was trying to quickly bring these ones out here. See. probably could do it with my finger faster, but this is cool too. Let the kids be creative. Let them create whatever they want. Again, if they want to use their finger, let them, because at a young age, texture of things is a big thing and a lot of fun for them. Let's see. Okay. So put them down right there, and then you can start. Okay, let's see. There's Happy. Let me use my finger and see what it feels like.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, it's not that bad.
I could start by what?
You can draw over there. The only thing with your finger is you have to put a lot so that it stays and you can see it.
Yeah. What is this, paint?
It's sidewalk chalk. Almost done, and then I will show you guys what it looks like. Again, you have to use this the same day that you make it, because if you don't, it's just going to be a waste. It doesn't save very good, so you have to use it as soon as you make it. Well, not as soon as you make it, but in the same day that you make it. You can do it on the sidewalk, and then of course it can be washed away with water. So again, it gets a little messy. That's okay. I need another finger. Oh, can you go? Do you know where there's any paintbrushes? Let's see if it works with a paintbrush. Might as well. So the other thing is I'm trying to think. I think the yellow was the one that I actually used
the most.
That I actually used to put the two together. So that one came out a little more watery than the green. So the green is actually thick, so I don't have to use as much. So just making sure that you put the ingredients all in one bowl before you switch it over, because I forgot, so I had to like do half and half, and I think I ended up putting too much. Awesome possum. My daughter brought out a brush. Let's see if it works. So just a brush, put it on there. It does work. Cool. So it can be like puffy paint, chalk paint. Puffy paint, chalk paint. Move those two bowls, please. Huh? Actually, yeah. Okay. Okay. All done. And as you can see, or not see, I can't see. Let's see. Yeah. There is my puffy paint. Today is my nephew's birthday, Jason. So happy birthday, Jason. Austin's over here being creative as well with his puffy paint. So it looks like it was successful. Something fun for the kids to do. And messy at the same time. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, today is Wednesday, March 25th. So if you have a need, please contact 211 for anything that you may need. The food distribution, our food bank will be out again today. I will leave that information in the comments below. Just please keep in mind, they only have 115 food baskets to give away, so make sure that you're there early, and if you don't get them, I'm sorry. But again, there is a big need right now. Please, though, make sure that you are getting the free lunch and free breakfast that's around town for you guys at most of the elementaries or junior high, middle schools, as well as the high schools. All right, guys, I will be seeing you in a little bit. Have a great day.